You good.
Happy Sunday, and welcome to the Fine Arts, Fine Life space here on Instagram. I am Makella Moore, founder and executive director of Fine Arts, Fine Life, a nonprofit organization based in Birmingham that utilizes fine arts to improve the mental wellness of our youth. You are tuned in to Self-Care Sundays, where we have vulnerable conversations around topics concerning fine arts, the arts, and wellness with dynamic people such as people like Mr. McCall here, Brandon. So let's welcome Brandon McCall. Welcome, Brandon. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I always like to kick this thing off, and I know you've got a lot going on and you're busy. So I like to always start this thing off with asking, what is wellness to you?
Wellness is for me basically, checking in with yourself in every aspect, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, and just making sure that you're taking care of yourself in those areas. That's pretty much the foundation. I could touch on more, but wellness to me, that's what it is, just making sure you're healthy in all those areas.
Awesome. Great response. And I should backtrack to say congratulations on all of your success with Broadway. You know, it's a
Thank you.
huge accomplishment to be Simba on Lion King. It blows my mind that this is your Broadway debut, but you
Yeah,
land a lead role. Like that is like, who
yeah.
does that? Speaking of Broadway, what's it like to be on Broadway?
Oh man, so much. It's crazy. It's fun. Um, it's definitely a challenge. Um, but I don't take it for granted. It's definitely something that um, is a different beast than anything that I've, done before. But, like for instance, like little issues with my voice. Like New York has some allergens that, that don't happen in most places. So,
Right. You're right. You're right.
you
Because I was
know,
telling you earlier how I received a notification on my phone that
yeah,
alerted me that the pollution level was like skyrocketing, and it informed me
yeah.
to go inside. And I'm like, I didn't even know my phone had that capability.
Yeah, like I went to the ENT and this was like, early October. And they were like, yeah, your vocal cords look good, everything is fine. It was like, it might just be allergies. And I'm like, I don't get allergies in the fall. It was like, welcome to New York. I'm like, wow, so is that bad?
Wow, that is
It's
insane.
crazy. It's crazy. But Broadway is definitely a place where, you get to network with a lot of people. Um, is definitely a place where you you start to see other people that are just as talented, and it makes you feel welcomed and it makes you feel at home. um and it reminds me of Birmingham, actually,
Right. A lot
because
of
there's so
talent.
much talent. Yeah, so much talent in Birmingham. And it's like when I go to these different shows or just in my own building, in my own theater, I'm like, yo, like I know so many people that could shine here. You know what I mean? So it's a different beast for sure.
Okay. What do you feel prepared you the most for this moment?
Um, the grace of God, that's number one. Uh, that's the foundation of it all. I would have to say my training at Alabama State University. My professors really prepared me for the real world, and the arts outside of educational atmosphere. And then after college, I went on to do an actor internship. Where that was at B Street Theater in Sacramento, California. And there, it taught me how to be a starving artist. It was late nights, early mornings, working hard, building sets, um, also doing a tour for the schools that were there in California. And I think we were making like $100 a week as an intern. And, sometimes I had to decide whether I was going to pay a bill or eat that night. So it really prepared me for a life, as a starving artist if it called for that. Could I do this for the rest of my life? Not knowing, you know, when the next meal was going to come, or living from paycheck to paycheck. Like, it prepared my mindset for that. Like, am I strong enough for that, to go through those things? And then after B Street, there was a Red Mount Theater, in Birmingham, and Red Mount really helped me hone my craft. It gave me a place to really express myself and really see where I was as an actor, as a performer, as a singer, and challenge me and challenge me to do better and to do more, and that's where I made my connections. This is where I met my manager. And through my manager, I got, my audition for The Lion King. So, yeah. And last but not least, my family really prepared me for this. My mom is the one that put the spark in me for theater. She sent me to this audition. Yeah, she sent me to this audition one summer. And it was just a way of, her keeping me out of trouble, trying something new, keeping me out of her house so I wouldn't eat up all the food, all that good stuff. You know how we do when we're young,
Yeah.
And I went in that first audition, and I was like, okay, cool. This is pretty cool. Got a call back, went to the first rehearsal, did the table read. And I was like, okay, I might like this. Then the director, she saw me and this other guy, we looked alike. And this particular theater troupe, we did shows for the youth. So, anything that empowered youth, that helped youth through, certain issues that they were going through, we did a show about it. And this particular show was about, kids taking the exit exam. And we were like the mascots of the high school. And we would go out, and I just remember, the second time we went out, everybody went crazy because they were happy that we came out, and I was like, okay, I can get used to this. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Like, my mom put the spark on me, but I definitely have to give a lot of credit to my wife as well. She really supported me and pushed me to keep chasing this dream, and made a lot of sacrifices. She's making a sacrifice now. I'm up here in New York, and her and the girls are, down in Birmingham. So, there's a lot of sacrifice that she has had to endure on this journey. And, she definitely has seen the rough times and the good times. She see the things that a lot of people don't see. She get she get behind the scenes. She gets when I had to take off for 6 months and try to figure out what I really wanted to do. She was there during those times. During those times where I would break down on the couch and not knowing when the next job was coming. So she's been there since day one. Of me chasing this dream. And so without them, without the training I've got, without everyone that I've mentioned, like, there's no way I could get here.
I don't know why I thought your wife and children moved to New York.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that. So
I thought that.
I put on Facebook, like, about getting help, getting the place situated. But this is like their second home. So before I got to New York, I was on the tour. And so they would just come wherever I am. But now I'm in New York, I actually have to have a place to live and stay. And so, like, I needed, help trying to make this place home for them when they come up. And they visit a lot. So it's just like, it's just like they here. But
yeah.
But yeah, nah, they still in Birmingham. There's a lot that that still has to happen. There's a lot that my wife is, dealing with, and things that she got to take care of back home. And so we got 2 lives right now. We got one here in New York and one in Birmingham.
Wow.
But we're making it work.
I love it. So another question I have, could you share some habits and practices you put in place to sustain this level of excellency?
Oh, wow.
Because you've made it here. A lot of people get here and then they, kind of drop the ball. What do you do to maintain this? And what advice would you give a child or, a young person endeavoring to pursue this line of career?
Yeah, I like to say that faith and fear can't coexist in the same flesh. That's my thing. So, you got to have faith. You can't allow fear to determine, your journey or your future. And I compare fear to, the gear shift in a car, and fear is that neutral place that we can be in. Sometimes fear can push you forward or it can push you back. And what I mean by that is when fear pushes you back, that's that fear of, oh, I don't think I'm gonna make it, or I'm scared to step out and do this thing, or, family members telling you like, yo, you shouldn't do that, like do something else, or somebody's telling you, man, you need a plan B, something you can fall back on. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen for you. And then there's that fear that pushes you forward. And that's the fear I have. Like, I fear not being able to provide for my family, not being able to, you know, not being able to make everyone proud. I have the fear of not chasing my dreams, not being successful. I have the fear of not being that great father that my kids look up to and say, if he can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? That's the fear I have. So with that fear, that keeps me pushing, it keeps me driving. And once you have that fear, once your foot gets on the gas pedal, there's no stopping. And so, you got to have faith. Faith over fear is what I say. Also a support system. Like, I can't stress that enough, how much support you got to have in this industry, and just in chasing your dreams, period. Like, you got to have the support. So those people that's in your ear telling you like you can't do it, or I feel like that's not good for you, you need to X that out. Like, tell them to go on somewhere. Tell them, hey, you good, I'm good. You can keep that energy over there, and find you somebody that's gonna really be there for you and push you, be there for you, and help you research and help you, figure out how to get to that next level. And there are people in this world that'll do that. Like, they'll probably work harder than you and push you more than you push yourself. And there are people in this world that'll do that. People in your life that'll do that. But yeah, just faith, prayer. I keep my mindset on, God gave me these blessings, so I'm not gonna let them go to waste. So
Could you speak to like certain discipline, like how you keep yourself disciplined to stay in this space? And then I have another great question for you before our time wraps. Cool. I know you have to go.
Oh, you good. You good. As far as discipline, it's just you gotta know where you want to be. Once you set a goal, you gotta hold yourself accountable to reach that goal. And when you make a goal, sometimes you exceed that goal. My goal wasn't to be on Broadway, honestly. Like, that wasn't a goal of mine.
What was your goal? Like, did you think you'd be in film?
Yeah.
Because I do remember seeing you on a film. I was sitting in Church of Highlands, and it was like some football film. Feels like you guys might be in Woodlawn. Yeah.
Yeah, Woodlawn. Yeah.
I look at
so. My mind was, all right, straight out of college, I'm gonna be on somebody's TV. I'm gonna be at somebody's movie theater. That was my thing. And once I got into, Alabama State, we did a lot of theater, but they also taught us some film acting. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. Like, that's the thing. And once I went off and really got into theater and started singing more, I was like, okay, I could do this too. That's cool, until the film and TV stuff kick in. I do this. That's cool, whatever. And so I just kept getting theater gigs, and I was like, all right, I'm starting to love this thing here, man. This is what's up. Did a little commercial here and there, but I think there's something about live theater that I like. Feeling the audience energy up close, up front. There's something about that connection that I love, and that I really, really cherish. And especially when you're doing a show for kids. Like, my main thing is I love the youth and I love to inspire them. There's so many youth that I see that sometimes are heading down the wrong path, or they just don't have the guidance that they need to chase their dreams. And it's like, nah, like I need you to come to the show. I need you to come to the show and see somebody that looks like you doing the thing. You know what I mean? Um, and so like, yeah, I think that's it. But as far as discipline, like that's my mindset. I gotta make sure I set my goals, and once I set my goals, eventually I'll exceed those goals, and just holding myself accountable, and thinking about everybody that has poured into me, everybody that's been on this journey with me. Like I don't want to let them down. So in my mind, that's pretty much what it is.
I love that. Here's the final question.
Yeah.
With the hustle and bustle of New York, the demand for your time and, just so much involved with Broadway, you're in a new space, you're having to also, manage relationships back home and care for your children long distance and still, nurture and cultivate that marriage relationship. How do you find wellness? How do you prioritize that in your life? How do you center with so much busyness?
Wow, that's a real good and heavy question.
Like, what practices do you have in place that you're actually physically doing on a daily basis to keep your mind sound and clear and, up to par to perform in such a way? You got to have a certain level of mental clarity to give it your all on stage.
Yeah, I do. I keep going back to it, but prayer. I pray every day. And then I just kind of take time for myself. Sometimes I do sit in the quiet for about an hour or two and just kind of not letting my thoughts get to me, but just taking a moment to prepare for, my day, or prepare for whatever may be happening the rest of the day. And then in the show, there's a particular part of the show, He Lives in You. And that's one of the songs that, I have a little part in that I sing. And it's my favorite part for so many reasons. But to touch on the point, that song reconnects me with everything and everyone that has helped me get, to this place. And what I mean by that is when I sing that song, I start seeing everyone's face, like, and not just saying he lives in me, but like everybody, like my wife, my kids, my mom, my mother-in-law who passed away in 2018, people that encourage me, people that have pushed me, sewn into me. Like I see these faces, and that's the thing that keeps me going. Like knowing that those people live in me, and even the people that were negative about my journey. I had a ninth grade history teacher, to ask me, what do you plan on doing? This is my senior year. She was like, what do you plan on doing? After high school, like, what are you going to major in? And at the time I was like, biology, I want to be a pediatrician. So again, I've told you, being on Broadway is not always my dream. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, good. Cause I was going to say, like, I didn't think that theater thing was going to work out for you. I was like, or the acting thing. And, I didn't know if she meant that, like, I didn't have the talent, or she meant that as if like, I'm going to need something else to fall back on. But either way, however she meant it, that put some fire under my butt. And I left her that day and changed my major to theater. Because I was like, there's no one that's going to tell me what I can and cannot do,
Right.
And so even moments like that pushes me and motivates me to become better in the things that I'm doing. Um, so that's how I stay connected. Singing that song every night and seeing everyone's face, picturing everyone in that moment. And I have a good support system here as well. Like I got people from Alabama State here that helped me get settled here, that housed me for a little bit of time, and that helped me get around. And I got friends here from different places, people that I was on tour with, or people that I've done shows with. You know, everyone has been very helpful in my journey getting here. So those are the things that you know that put me in this place, and
Okay.
keeps me connected to my mental health, and keep me, I got a lot of people that check in on me.
That
I
is
can walk in
awesome.
today. Yeah, I can walk in today, and if I look a certain way, they're gonna be like, you good? What's wrong? And just like this past Thanksgiving, like my family left on Monday and they left on my off day, which is good, because had they left on Tuesday, which I have a show, my energy wouldn't be right, because now I'm missing my family. Um, and so even on Tuesday, they were still like, "Your family still here?" I was like, "Nah, they left." They was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, all right, we're gonna have a good show," because they already know. You know what I'm saying?
I love
So,
it.
and I tell them, I was like, "Yeah, man." I said, if they would have left like today, like Tuesday, then yeah, I probably would be in here like having a little pity party. It was like, "Nah, we don't want that." So, let's go have a good show. You good? We're gonna make sure you all right. So, just surrounding myself with the right people, and making sure that I stay in tune with myself. Every now and then I do check in on myself and just be like, "How you feeling today? Like, what's bothering you today? You good? You okay?" And you got to have those moments. Like, people think you crazy for that, but like, nah, you really got to check in with yourself.
It's very important that you do so, because you'll find yourself trying to pour from an empty cup if you don't. Um, you said something about Alabama State, and it made me think about Dr. Stewart. And you guys pumped out the talent. Y'all are rivals.
Listen,
man, y'all pumped out the talent with that program.
Yeah.
And I said that was the last question, but we do have a little bit more time.
Yeah, you're good.
I wanted to ask, what programs, fine arts programs, were you involved with when you were an adolescent? And if there is one instructor who stands out, or who you can say impacted your career the most, who would that person be?
You're trying to get me in trouble.
Okay. Well, list maybe two or three.
There are a few. There are a few. So the same theater troupe I was telling you about, it was called the JCCEO Yes Ambassadors. And I was in that particular organization from I don't remember the year, but I was 12. I started when I was 12. And then of course you can stay in there till you're 18. So from 12 to 18, that's what I did every summer. And one of the instructors there that I still like use some of the things he taught me was Toby Wyndham. You might know Toby, UAB graduate. He's now on everything Disney Channel. Just roll with it. He was on Walk the Prank, I believe. But yeah, he's doing amazing things. Him and his wife, Stephanie, like they're doing some very amazing things. They both were my instructors at one point during that, during my time in that organization. And so that's the organization that gave me the acting bug. And once I met Toby and his wife, it was like, okay, I saw two young people that enjoyed doing the same thing. So I was like, yeah, I might want to do this for life. We'll see. But they made it fun for me. They made it fun. As far as my instructors, whoa, there are a few. Like, of course, Dr. Stewart. Like I mean, she's the foundation of, the things that I learned, and, and then we had other professors that went off to school, and then they brought back some of the things that they learned. So yeah, Dr. Stewart, Brian Martin, and I definitely have to shout out Anthony Stockert, because he was the
Oh, I
one
know
that,
him.
yeah, he pulled me to the side my senior year. He was like, "Look, man, if you want to get the training, um, you're gonna have to change some things up." And what he meant by that was I was in the band during my senior year. Well, all my years at Alabama State. And my senior year, I was head drum major, junior year, going into the senior year. He was like, "It's only one show that we're doing this year, and it's probably the only show that you'll probably be able to be in." He was like, "You got to get the training you need in order to get out of these four walls." And I was like, all right. So I had to make the hard decision of, getting out of the band
Oh, I know that was
and
hard.
and
I know that was
hone.
tough.
Oh, it was very hard. Very hard. I had to make the decision to get out of the band and hone and perfect my craft. And man, he helped me a lot my senior year here. Mr. Martin took me to different competitions. Um, we went to like a graduate school competition. We went to like different professional theaters, auditions and all that. And, with them working with me, I left with the most callbacks during, all the auditions that we did for grad school and all the, stock theaters and professional theaters and everything. So I definitely have to credit all my professors at Alabama State for, getting me where I am now. And also my acting coach in Birmingham, Meg Dusner. I don't know if you know her, Acting Out Academy. But
Okay.
yeah, she helped me a lot with self-tapes. She really taught me a lot about film acting. And she was like, it's really less than what you're making it. Because I was so used to theater, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she was like, bring it down a little bit. And so now I even use those same things in, as Simba. And, I still get, even though it's theater, the directors are like, man, that's like, I had one person tell me I've never seen a Simba do the work the way you do it, or do the show the way you do it. And I'm like, man, that's
Be
amazing.
him,
Like
stand up.
that's amazing. So, I have to credit all of them, because they put something in me that is more unique than, than what other people have seen on this stage. So
Absolutely. Well, Brandon, it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm gonna see you in person. My husband and I and a couple of friends are planning to come there for New Year's Eve. But so I'll
okay,
probably get there
yeah,
around like the 27th. I'm coming to the show. I cannot wait. I've
cool.
seen Lion King twice. I saw it once in Birmingham, once in Vegas. Um, but I cannot wait. Like my husband's never seen it. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. That's exciting. I can't wait.
Okay, well, I hope you break both legs tonight. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and imparting wisdom and nuggets and just so much. I have lots of students who follow this page, and I hope that they can take something away, they can put in their toolbox to help push them toward their dreams. So thank you so much. And I hope that you have a great show tonight. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's definitely a pleasure. And anytime I could do something, if it's a master class with the kids or whatever, you let me know.
Listen.
And we'll make it happen.
Okay, let me not act a fool. But you said about 4. Yes, sir. Coming down the
We'll make it
pipeline.
happen. Yeah,
I
virtual
appreciate you,
or
brother.
whatever we got to do, we'll make it happen.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I'll be in touch. Okay.
All right,
Take
girl.
care.
Thank you.
All right.